everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. So this video was recorded yesterday, Monday afternoon. So you can see that with everything I did in the morning and the afternoon, I really was very busy. Now a couple of people have said to me, what is all that stuff at the end of your side? Oh dear, it does end up being like a bit of a dumping ground. Like many of you said, I'm a flat surface coverer. I think we all are. I see a flat surface and just put it down and don't put it away. So some of the things on the side here are things that I've taken from somewhere else that have a different home. So you'll see me make up that little lantern that I mentioned yesterday. I was determined to work out how it was put together, and I managed to by looking at the box. You know, in the past I would have probably just taken it to my husband and said help, but I was determined to sort it out myself. Not rocket science, so I know that I can do it, so I looked at the box and did it. There's also a couple of other things on the side, which again, I've decluttered a cupboard or a shelf or a drawer and decided that the item doesn't belong there, so I need to find a new home. Now those two containers there, pineapple, in the shape of pineapples, they are like cocktail containers. So at some point I've had a cocktail in them and I've just kept the containers. As you know, I don't really drink that much alcohol, so probably I had one of them was perhaps 10 years ago, one of them was about just before COVID. Literally, me and my friend went out and we went out for the evening, had a couple of cocktails, and then like about a week later or 2 days later it was lockdown. So I've got it from then. Now I don't need them anymore, I don't want them anymore, but I want to repurpose them. So I'm going to turn the bottom of them into, I'm going to put a plant in and put them in one of my macrame hangers. And that reminds me, don't forget that when I get to 3,500, I'm going to be giving away 2 of my macrame hangers. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you look at any of my videos that shows my lounge, you'll see my hangers in the window with my plants. So please do look back at my old videos. Quite a few of you have looked back at old ones and commented and said, oh, either it's a massive change or like the way that I've done the video is different, the way that I do voiceover is different. Some of you will remember that I used to just talk for a little bit and then I used to put music on. But lots of you weren't that keen on the music, so I decided to opt for less music and more talking. And I know some of you tidy up as I'm talking. Some of you take a break while I'm talking, whatever works for you. Oh, I blew some bubbles then. I wanted to see whether the little bubble container still worked. So you'll see that pile on the corner does get quite bad, and I decided just to go through everything. So there are still some things on the corner, but I was really pleased. I managed to get it really, really clear. A lot of the things are just, sometimes they're things that I need to do, and then maybe I get a new form or I haven't done them, or just they go out of date, or receipts that I've kept for a particular purpose. That purpose goes and the date passes, I don't need it anymore. So I went through loads and got rid of loads and really cleared that corner. And goodness me, it really has made a massive difference to my kitchen, which you'll see in my last video and also the video that I'm going to post tomorrow. My kitchen really is looking a lot clearer, and all of you are so right. It's because I've just had too much stuff. I just got too much stuff. I need to get rid of stuff and then it's easier to be tidy. So it's not just that I'm untidy, although I am untidy. It's also the fact that you've got more things to tidy up, haven't you, when everything's cluttering your life. So today, so this video, as I said, is from yesterday afternoon, but today I woke up really early. My husband was going to Birmingham today. For those of you that have never been to Birmingham, well worth a visit. It's a very modern, vibrant city. It's not so historic because I think largely it was quite badly affected in the war. It was bombed so heavily in World War II. But there are some beautiful buildings in Birmingham, National Trust buildings, fantastic shopping, fantastic nightlife, so lots of good things about Birmingham. But my husband's gone there for work. I worked there myself for about 9 months. I enjoyed working there, and we still visit every so often. So he's gone there for today. So he was up really early. That woke me up, but thankfully I could go back to sleep. My daughter went to bed a bit later than what I would like yesterday, so I decided to leave her until 7:10 before I woke her up. I woke her up by playing a song that we both like, but she wasn't too impressed by that. She likes the song, but not to be woken up, it seems, by the song. So I dropped my daughter at school, and then I went straight to my meeting with meeting a new person, new learner, which was really lovely. I thought my manager wanted to meet me at 9:15, and I said, oh, I'm not sure, it depends on the traffic. As it was, can you believe? I got there at 9:10. So I logged on and did a bit of extra work while I was waiting for the meeting to start. Had that meeting. My manager observed me. So it's the first time she's observed me, and she gave me really lovely feedback, which was great. But some of you, so sort of an update really, you know how some of you say, I work too much, I do too much, slow down, stop doing so many hours at work. Well, you might got your wish. I might not have my second job anymore. So potentially big changes here. So we're going through this big consultation and review, and that's been going on for quite some time, and the consultation papers are coming out on the 23rd, so we'll see how it affects our job. Now, my job role is going to be put up by 2 grades. However, as you know, at the moment, I'm on a 0 hours contract. And in the new world, there will be no 0 hours contracts, which is a great shame. I think personally, they are future-proofing themselves for the fact that if we have a change of government, the new government have already said, excuse me, that they don't want 0 contracts. Now, I understand that they're a problem for some people, but for me, you can see they work perfectly, don't they? So what she's offered me is the minimum amount of contract that I can have. So the minimum they've offered is 14 hours. So there's lots of thinking for me to do. They will offer me a term time contract, so I could opt for term time contract. Also, it's annualised hours. So that means when I have a crazy week and I do 20 hours, the next week I could do 8. So I can be very flexible. If I wake up one morning and it's lovely and sunny outside and I don't have actual meetings but I had planned to work and I want to do that work in the evening or some other time, I can do that. So it's still very, very flexible, but I'm going to have to commit to that amount of hours. And in my first job, sorry, I am waffling a bit, but I know some of you are interested. In my first job, they've offered me more hours. There's the option for more hours. So I need to carefully think what I'm going to do. Have any of you been in this sort of situation? I'm not sure. My number one is being mummy and being a wife. Being a mum and being a wife. That's my number one. So I always need work and everything that fits around me being there in the holidays, being there for school run, etc., etc. She's my number one. So I would have the flexibility, but at the moment, often I do more than 14 hours in my second job, but at the moment it's all choice. You see, and it's gonna be different, isn't it? Just wanted to think about that. So you can see how, while it was sunny, and you know yesterday I was saying, oh, how wonderful it was, it's lovely and sunny, I get all my washing dry. Yep, it's raining today. So it was a good job I did all this. Now my next door neighbours are moving. The house has been up for sale for absolutely ages and they're finally moving. And this boundary is actually their responsibility. However, they refuse to put anything up. So I have bought privets and I have bought... I think it's all privet actually that I've bought. On the far right, it's dying. That's the old privet. But I've put the new pieces in, which are doing quite nicely. Now, bear in mind, it's battling against the blackberries and the thorns that the neighbour planted, which are coming up everywhere. I decided to clear back the weeds, clear back the thorns, and try and give the privet a bit more chance of life, a bit more chance of survival. Also, because they are moving, I've decided that I'll take the opportunity to clear a big section, and I'm going to plant some more privet on the boundary line. Now, wherever I've lived and the houses that I've had, it's always been that you put the fence or the hedge on the boundary line. Not here. Here, it seems to be that the lady who's leaving forced the lady who used to live in my house to put a fence up and a hedge up in her garden, even though the boundary isn't actually her responsibility, which I find a bit mean. And then after they put the fence post and the fence in this garden, not on the boundary line, my neighbour wanted her cake and she wanted to eat it, because she then attached her gate to the boundary post, which was not in her garden and not on the boundary. So I decided that I was going to do a bit of sorting. She's going to be leaving soon, so I decided prior to any new people arriving who might think that they can take up the hedge which is actually in my garden and put a fence there, which I don't want because we've got birds nesting and insects and wildlife. I decided I'd clear it all back, and I'm going to buy some new privet plants, and I'm going to put the plants just along that edge there. So you can see all this, there's loads and loads of weeds, ivy, so much to be sorted. So you can imagine I slept really well last night because I've been busy all morning and busy all afternoon. And I was expecting to work on this until about 25 past 4, but then in a minute you'll see that my attention has moved because my husband comes out and says that my daughter's on the phone. She doesn't ever ring. She just waits obviously to be picked up. So I was initially worried, but what it was is she'd been coughing quite a lot, and she was ringing to say should she go to choir. My daughter hasn't yet sort of worked out the timings of things, so she sort of calls at 4 and says, I don't think I should go to choir because I've been coughing. Can I come home now? Well, obviously I've got to drive in the car and go and get her. So I said to her, go for 30 minutes, just explain to the teacher that you can only go for 30 minutes. Your mum's picking you up because your cough's quite bad. So that's what she did. So you can see a lot of these plants and weeds and sort of the undergrowth there has just encroached more and more in my garden. So I'm going to clear that patch, and then I'm going to buy some new green and variegated privet plants and give them a feed, and hopefully they'll come along quite nicely. So I finish up very soon on this video. You'll see I just do a little bit more and then I jump in the car, wash my hands, jump in the car and go and get them. I do love being in the garden, and actually I like weeding. Am I a bit strange? Lots of people say to me, how can you say you like weeding? I find weeding really relaxing, and also you can instantly see the improvements. When I go into the garden and I see all the driveway clear, I'm like, wow, look at the difference that I've made. So I do like seeing that. It's a little bit like when I look at my kitchen. However, I then come through and look at the lounge, and the lounge, oh my goodness, the lounge is slipping. I've got lots to do on the lounge. And then the last part of my video is today. So after I came back from the meeting and I had the sort of the follow-up meeting with my manager to talk about my role and how things might change as a result of the review, I decided to come back and sort of have a longer lunch, and I was invigilating at a school this afternoon. So that's job number 4. So I don't do much invigilating, I just help out really when they're short of people. So I just sort of squeeze that in as and when. But before I went, I decided, well, I'm going to have my lunch, but let me just do some tidying of the kitchen, because I don't like those dishes building. So I just thought, well, I'll do the dishes, then I will move things around on the windowsill, because a couple of you said, oh, wouldn't it look nicer if your windowsill was clearer? And I agree, it would look a lot less cluttered. So I decided to move one plant from the windowsill into the front room. I decided to take off my little soap thing, my little soap container, and put the watering can in the cupboard where I've created more space in the cupboard. Don't think the other things I can move off yet. I've got a basil plant and a coriander plant. The coriander plant is on the way out, so once that's finished, that'll be gone. And then I just cleaned the little windowsill area. So you can see, can't quite see on the left, but about how clear my kitchen is, but all the work that I did yesterday on that corner bit, that's made a massive, massive difference. And these dishes are mostly, there's a couple from breakfast and a couple from dinner. So I just wanted to do all of those. So yeah, this afternoon I was invigilating an exam. I quite like doing that. You don't have to think, you don't have to do anything. It's very, very straightforward. I just check that nobody's cheating and make sure that all the rules are followed. So to quickly update you on a few of the comments, I've been overwhelmed with the number of comments that you've added to my videos recently. So loads of comments on my last couple of videos, but also people are going back on my old videos and watching those and then adding comments. Now this really, really helps me, because the more people that watch and the more people that comment, even if you just say, good to see you, Emma, or, thanks for this video, or whatever, it affects the algorithms. I don't quite understand how, probably someone watching this does, but it just means that more people then see my videos, and then I get more followers, which is super. So a couple of comments. Be on a budget. 8405 said, it's so annoying when things leak in the fridge. My fridge is due a big clean. I like the idea of working along with you. Love listening to your chats. Oh, thank you for that. That's kind. Brooke said, thank you for showing us where you were stopped on your way back. Yeah, it was lovely, Belton. I want to go back there. I was actually thinking that after our summer holiday, my husband then has to go back to work, but I've got a little bit longer off. So I thought I might stay around there and explore the area a little bit further. It's about 2 hours drive from where I live. Your daughter looks so cute in her dress. Oh, thank you for saying that, Brooke. We got that dress from Sainsbury's. I was really pleased. She saw it and loved it, and I thought, oh, what a lovely colour, because she's got green eyes. So I got that for her. I thought that was nice too. What a large stylophone. You're wearing a very cute shirt too. Oh, thank you. I cannot recall if it was a TV show or a book series I read in King's Lynn. I'm a map person, so I wondered if you drove through that city. Well, when you get through Belton House, as soon as you leave Belton House, you get all the signs to King's Lynn. So it's really, really close. King's Lynn has gone through a whole series of changes, and King's Lynn is a place worth visiting. So if you Google William Shakespeare and King's Lynn, you'll get some very interesting facts. I'm really interested now, Brooke, though, what it was that you watched or read. A TV show or a book series. I need to look into that. I also have a hard time wasting food. Before my husband died, my dad would always tease me about it. Now that I live at home, he teases that the pets eat better than we do, since they usually get the leftovers or soon-to-be expired food. That sounds like you just have a wonderful relationship with your immediate family, Brooke, which must have really supported you given the difficulties that you've gone through over the last 18 months. I can't imagine how hard it's been. Today the goats were given 3 wrinkled up apples from a lot we bought from a student at Christmas time. I dare not read that comment out to my daughter. For ages I wanted a pygmy goat, and she would love a goat. I read that chickens can recognise up to 100 faces. Wow, people often say that chickens aren't very intelligent, don't they? I think they are. They certainly know me from when I give them cabbage, spinach and other greens. Oh, Dad said he could buy me mealworms at the feed store, but the answer was no. Oh, you're not keen on mealworms? Let me know. Let me know the reason for that. Was it because you just don't like the idea of giving something live? I completely understand that. I enjoy watching your garden grow. Mum and I picked out strawberries at the garden centre yesterday. Dad has also planted quite a few vegetables along with the new burning bush I purchased. After my grandparents' home was razed, there was not much here for many years. My parents built in 2018, so we're starting fresh. Sometimes perennials don't come back here. all of our fields are planted now. So exciting. I agree. It's just absolutely wonderful watching things grow. But I love the fact that you've got chickens and goats. I'm really excited and I'd love to see a picture. How can we do that? Are you able to take a little video and put it on your account and I'll follow you? I'd love to see the chickens and the goats. That'd be so good. So one more comment. M Faircloth, thank you for commenting. You always got some good comments here. Happy Monday. Love your daughter's ready to let everything go for a pet. That's a girl. And the funny thing was today she's popped to grandma's while I'm reading this and doing some craft for grandma while I did the dinner and doing some bits in the house. And on the way home, I said to her about, you know, coming back into schoolwork. She said, yes. She said, I've got to practice the flute and then I'm doing my level 1 revision. I said, oh, you sound very responsible. She said, yes, I've got to be responsible if I'm going to have a pet. Kitchen is really looking great and a real treat with the sun beaming in. What's happening with that pile on the left-hand countertop? That pile you can see from the front door, I think. You're right, but you'll love this video because you'll see all that pile sorted. Love seeing your garden and seeds grow. When you're tidying up on the bookcase, did you shove little photographs between the books? You know me, don't you? You know me really well. Actually, it wasn't little photographs. It was like tickets for things. Little tickets that I want to keep. So it was like there was tickets that we went in somewhere in Venice. So I put the tickets in the Venice book. And I figured it didn't take up much space. Because I'm sure photos are being stored in the dining room cabinet. Can't wait to see what else you got up to. And so super happy your mini me is totally game. Decluttering, addictive and contagious. I think you're right. And then Andrea, Cook Mum, X3, she laughed. Laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. She said she's going to join you in your decluttering journey. Aw, thank you for the comment. And then Carolyn, by the way, brilliant move to task your daughter with decluttering her room and playroom before getting a pet. Yeah, absolutely. Although I haven't said to her she's definitely having it yet, because what I've said is like, how can we go on guide camp if we've got pets? How can we go to Durham if we've got a pet? How can we go to Italy for 3 weeks if we've got a pet? I've asked her, is she happy for all of these things to stop? My dad did say that he could look after the pet, and then after he spoke to his partner, he then said no. My mum can't look after it because if it's got fur, that would affect her with the allergy. As my mum, of course, is allergic to fur, so that wouldn't be possible. And in any case, she's got a dog. And then that leaves my sister, and it's not really fair for my sister to look after pets for 3 weeks at a time. So more thought is needed. It's a big responsibility, isn't it? Any sort of pet. So I'm nearly at the end of the video. I've already done so much enough for tomorrow's video. So thank you very much for your ongoing support, encouragement, guidance, ideas, seeing things that I don't see and giving me the ideas to make changes. I very much appreciate. And I hope you're all well and have had a lovely Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!